This is our third video for the project where we're doing watercolor drip and watercolor splatter and blowing with a straw technique. So as of now, I have only black and brown watercolor paint on here. The rubber cement is still on here, and I won't take off the rubber cement until I'm finished with using watercolor. The supplies we need for today are a lid to use as our palette for mixing watercolor paints and being able to see how dark they are on top of the white paper with diluting it with water. You need a water cup. I have a little half of a drinking straw. I just cut them in half so we can make them last longer. Each person gets their own straw. Of course, you don't want to share any straws because we don't want to share germs, since you have to actually put your mouth on the straw to blow through it. So make sure when you get your straw that you're not mixing it up with anybody else's at your table. And then I've got some paintbrushes, again, a variety of sizes. I have single pans of paint in different colors, just like we did with the black and brown. It was just the little thing of paint that you would take over to your table. But I also now have some larger palettes that have a whole bunch of colors. So and we only have about 8 of these, I think. So you can share with somebody at your table, or if one is not available, you can always use the single pans of color that I have available. And then I also have some watercolor colored pencils, and these activate to become watercolor paint once you put water on. So what you can do with these is you can, I think I'll stick with using lots of blues, some purple, there's a lighter blue in here, and some greens. And what you can do with these, and I'll show you this first, is you can draw with them and then turn them into watercolor paint. So let's say I want to have some lighter bits through the hair like this, and then I want to have some darker areas through the hair. I can just draw like I do with regular colored pencils, and then show you real quick. I'll take a smaller brush like this one, dip it in water, just plain water, no paint, because this itself is the paint, and then go over the drawn lines and it becomes watercolor paint. The other thing you can do with these, which is pretty cool, is take the tip of the watercolor pencil, dip the tip in water, and for a little while, it actually will kind of come out like paint. And especially since the paper was already wet right here, if you have a section of the paper that's already wet and you've dipped the pencil in the water, it will just come off like a thin line of paint. And if the more wet the paper is, the more this color will bleed, but it does a little bit less bleeding the less wet it is. Okay, all right, so we've got the watercolor colored pencils that you can work with. We've also got all of these regular watercolors in different colors. So I can show you, there's not a color in here, like I wanted to put purple in the hair. There's not a color in here that's like a really nice purple. This is like a blue purple color. So I'll show you what that looks like. It is purpley, but it's more of a blue purple. So to make that kind of more of a true purple, you can mix it, and I'll put this here, and I'll put some of this blue purple here, and then you can either use red, or I think it's really nice to use magenta instead of red, and mix that in, and then you can get more of a pink purple, or you can, add as much or as little magenta as you want to get to achieve whatever type of purple you're looking for. Okay, so there's that. And then what I would do is fill in the hair how I wanted it to look. I'm going to make the flowers in her hair, instead of really looking like hair, I'm just going to make it look like she's got flowers on her head. And then I'm going to start bringing in some of these other techniques. So I haven't filled in the hair all the way, but I don't want this to be a long video like my last one. My last one was way too long. So let me show you a drip technique. So got my water here. Want lots of water. I think I'll do this color, this blue purple. Need more water because I'm going to have to fill these bristles, and I'm purposely using a larger brush for this because I want a lot of liquid in the bristles. So I'm loading up the bristles with paint, and then I'm going to come over here. I'm holding my paper up like this. Okay, so I'm holding it up kind of straight, but I'm leaning it a little bit so you can still see instead of putting it like this. Right, and then I'm going to take my paintbrush that has lots of paint in it. I'm going to press, and you can see a drip started. Now, when you want that drip to stop, make sure you put your paper back upward like this. If you want it to go all the way down the page, you can keep it like this, and you can kind of tap on the table, and it'll go right off the edge. Okay, I think I have enough paint on here that I can do another one. Maybe I need another drip coming from here, and maybe I want this one to end right there. So I'll just leave it like this, put it back down so that it doesn't drip any further. Okay, so there's one way of doing this. And you can do that as many times as you want in as many different places as you want. I'm also, while I still have that color in here, going to take a little more water, just kind of dip it quickly. And then I'm going to go like this. And you want to be careful when you're doing this that you're not getting your splatters on somebody else's project next to you, or that, that they're kind of flying across the table or flying up into the air and landing where you don't really want them to land. Now, there you are going to get splashes on the face, on the shoulders, if you're not too careful with where you're doing this. And that's fine. If you don't want splashes on your face, which I think looks kind of cool to have the splashes be everywhere, but if you don't want that, you can take a paper towel and you can cover the spot that you don't want these splatters to be, and you can keep your brush a little closer to the paper to kind of control a little bit more where the splashes go. You can't exactly control what the splash is going to look like. That's kind of random. You can't exactly control where the splash lands, but the closer you get to the paper in the spot where you want it, the more control you can have. Okay. And then if you do get a spot somewhere where you don't want it, you can always go like this. But I kind of like the look of splashes around the face, so I'm going to let that happen. And then the next thing I wanted to show you is using the plastic straw and using it in a few different ways. I'm going to turn the paper like this and show you a splash, or actually it'll be a puddle, and then blowing the paint in a different direction. So I'll put, again, my paint in the paintbrush in the water, grab a whole bunch of paint in here, and then this time, and I'm going to, instead of holding up the paper, leave it flat and put a puddle where I want my little drip slash splash to go. I'm using the straw for this. So take the straw. I'm going to try to do this without getting my head in the camera. You're going to get your face pretty close to the painting, and you're going to put your straw in whichever direction you want that puddle to get blown. And so you put your mouth on one end, and you don't touch the other end to the paper. Just keep it close, and blow the straw, blow through the straw, and keep your straw in the direction you want the drip to go. Okay, so there it went in this direction. Now, if I wanted it to go in the other direction, I would just turn my paper this way and then hold the straw like this and blow it in that direction, and vice versa. If you want your splashes, drip splashes to go everywhere, you have to put your straw directly over on top of where you lay down the puddle. So I'm going to go like this. And I think I'll do one of those right here. So I'm going to put a puddle of paint here. I'm going to add a little extra water to it. I want lots of pigment in there too because I don't want it to be too light. Again, the lighter you want the color to be, the more water and less pigment you'll have. Okay, so this time I'm putting the straw straight up and down over it. When I do this, my head might go into the camera because I have to actually, put my mouth on this end right here and hold the straw directly on top of that puddle, straight over it. And when I do it straight over it, it is more likely to spread out in all directions. Again, it's kind of random. You can't exactly control where those go, but they tend to go out in all different directions if you're just directly on top. So here we go. Okay, so you can see it actually went out in this direction, a little bit here, 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 and here. And the more paint I would have on there, the further it would go. Now at this point, I can blow it further. So if I want this to go out even further, I can I'm just picking it up so it's not so far down away from my face. And I can blow that further. And this one. As long as there is more wet paint there, they can go as far as you want them to go. And I'll make this one go off the page. The closer you get the straw to it, the easier it is. I'm a little bit far away from the straw because I'm trying not to get my head under the camera so you can see. Okay, so at this point, I only have a little bit of paint on here. I have quite a bit more to do in the hair, and I want to add a whole bunch more of this expressive abstract color around the face and, some more splatters that kind of go a little bit on her. And I will continue doing that, and I'll show you the final result after I'm done. But just remember that with this, you are going to need to share a pack of watercolor colored pencils. You can draw in with them, and you can activate the drawing medium from using water on top. You can also dip the tip of the pencil into water and actually paint with while you draw. You can use a big palette of watercolor paint, or you can use individual pans of color. Both will be available. Again, we only have about 8, maybe 9 these big packs of watercolor that you can share with other classmates. You do need to have one of these palettes. So far, I've only used it this one time, but I will end up using it quite a bit more as I keep working on this. Have those variety of brushes in your water cup ready to go, and then of course one straw that you make sure you don't mix up with anybody else's because we don't want to share our germs. I can come around and answer questions, and I will show you the final result in a photo after I'm done with this.